everybody. Welcome. It's episode 6 of Osprey Observer TV. Thank you so much for watching. Joining me as always, editor-in-chief of the Osprey Observer, Marie Gilmore. Hello, Marie.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody.
This is going to be a fun show because it's all about spreading joy, all right? We've got a veteran business owner who is spreading joy of graduation, of recognizing our first responders and our healthcare workers, and we'll talk about exactly how he's doing that. Right now, we've got that interview with Marie lined up.
Bob Burmaster with image360, and we're so excited because not only does he do our signage for the Osprey Observer, and thank you, Bob, for bringing the truck with some great images on it. We absolutely love that. We participated in several special events with you doing that. But tell us a little bit about your business, Bob, and then we want to hear from you on what you've been doing during the pandemic and kind of adjusting and helping local small businesses.
Image360, we're located in Ybor City, on the kind of east side of Ybor City. Any place we work is anywhere from Tampa, Brandon, Riverview, over to St. Pete. So it's not just kind of a local company. Anything from signs, graphics, and displays, all the way down to promotional products. Something we added on to our kind of product service last year was the LED truck that's behind us there, that you guys have used quite a few times, and always enjoy working with you on that. Some of the things we've done for the COVID-19, we've got a laser engraver, laser cutter, and we've kind of seen the need for the face shields. So we're able to manufacture face shields on our laser cutter. So something we wouldn't typically do, but we made probably close to about 400 face shields, got out to the community, and even sent them out to EMS up in New York. So had a lot of good luck with that. Other things we've done is such as the little ear savers. We've got to wear a mask all the time.
Oh yeah, that elastic band.
Plastic in the back, yeah.
Okay.
So just simple things like that. Anything, things that we're doing differently with the LED truck too is like for graduations, they're so different this year. They're not walking across the stage. So we've done a lot of graduation messages, whether it's participating in a parade, or even going out to where they do the parades, going through the schools, or going out to the graduate's house. So a lot of different use with the truck this time of year that
so Bob,
not do.
Let's rewind a little bit, if you don't mind, kind of sharing with us basically how this coronavirus first affected your business, because you've obviously done really well at pivoting, based on some of the things you just mentioned, the drive-through graduations, and obviously, businesses wanting to be more front of mind, those that were able to stay open. So what was your initial reaction and effect to your business because of this virus?
Initially, it was a pretty big shock because there's so many businesses at the same time closed down. So when nobody is open, it's how do you find a new customer base? Then how do you keep yourself open? Because we're an essential business as far as you've got to keep the public informed. So anything from healthcare, local officials, and the companies that are open still need that signage, whether it's just the social distance stickers at the grocery market, but they all need our service. So the challenge was being able to stay open, without the income that we typically have. So it was a rough couple of months. The March and April was definitely a lot slower. But we started looking at is what else can we do? Not even so much to keep, business wise, but what can we do to help in the COVID, stop the spread of COVID-19, and to get us all back together and get our business back open again. So we spent a lot of time on just, changing the way we do some of the products that we make, and also coming up with packages and ideas of how do we get companies to open up back safely. And again, it's when the company's coming back open, it's not going to be an onslaught of, their customers coming back. They need to feel comfortable coming in your facility. Just to get your employees to come back, they also need to feel comfortable. So we worked a lot with it. So we got kind of into the face shields and some of the different product lines. It was really just to how can we assist our fellow companies and owners get their businesses back open again?
Well, give us an idea about that, because again, as you just mentioned, this is actually in a very unexpected way opened the opportunity for new revenue streams, new product lines, new types of services or events that you're able to cater your digital signage to. So, give us a little bit more in depth on, what exactly has this spurned for you business-wise? What kind of new opportunities has it created for you?
Yeah, some of the things like talked about, like graduation time. Families aren't able to celebrate the way they typically do, so it's another way that we can kind of help the families still enjoy, the traditional graduation. How can they do it differently? So we've done several birthday parties. We've gone to hospitals with get well messages. So it's really, how can we work with the community on keeping people distant but socially still active and engaged. So a lot of what we've done with the truck this time is not so much advertising for business, it's how to connect those families and keep them, creating memories for themselves.
Exactly. And even this morning you had a really special event that you participated in, didn't you?
Yeah, it was really cool. This was an image we had with right there. You see
yeah.
First Light Home Care.
Okay.
Yeah, First Light Home Care in Sun Towers. There was a parade for all the assisted living facilities in Sun City this morning, and
oh, awesome!
Celebrate that. It was very cool. A lot of fun.
I saw there were some sheriff's motorcycles and lots of vehicles, and just because the poor residents in the assisted livings and skilled nursings have been locked down for over 70 days. So this is really something nice for them to look forward to and know that people are thinking of them, loving them, and appreciating them. So that was awesome. I love to see that today. So you're doing a great job getting out in the community, keeping your name out there. I also know you have a welcome back open package for restaurants, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's pretty much any of the companies that need a welcome, kind of reopening package. We're doing 25% off all of our COVID signage, regardless what it is.
Okay.
It's important that they have signage outside, that either open, now open, or some companies during that time lag change their branding a little bit. They change their logos, so they kind of tweak their messaging. So it's important as they reopen again that they show the public what the new brand is and that they're physically open and ready to take the customers, and do the social distance decals on the floors, the sneeze guards, the acrylic shields that you see in some of the office buildings. It's that one behind us.
Okay.
Dentist office. So again, a lot of it is, but the packages we have is primarily just the banner, some wash your hands decals, and social distance and preventive measures type of signage form. But again, even this.
Well, and why I really like that, Bob, is because it gives me the confidence when I'm going into a business that they've put some attention into establishing some protocols to keep the customer safe, to keep the employees safe. And I recognize the businesses that have taken the time to do that it makes me feel more confident to use them. So as we're reopening and as we're getting people back into businesses and back into restaurants, I think that's really important to share that message and let them know, hey, we care about you. We're keeping you safe and us safe. I want to talk about your business just a little bit, Bob, because I know you are a veteran-owned business, aren't you?
Yes, we are. Yeah.
Yes.
I was in the military for 22 years. I retired in 2015. So like I say, love the service, love working with the military. We do give military discounts, our first responder discounts. So we try to take care of our fellow veterans as well.
Well, thank you for your service, Bob. What branch did you serve?
I was in the Army Special Forces.
Okay. And you continue to serve by opening a business that serves the community. So awesome.
Yeah, we do.
Wonderful. So how long has your business been open?
Well, I started the business when I was actually still on active duty.
Okay.
More of a kind of a weekends, nights in between deployments. So the actual business has been about 17 years now. But actually brick and mortar after I retired in 2015. So that's when we went full scale on it.
Okay. And then you have become really good about networking, about especially that digital sign truck, keeping out in community events and really becoming known in the community. And the other thing I've really enjoyed with working with you, Bob, is I'll send you a concept and you design something and have it back really immediately. Because sometimes as business owners, we know we need something, but not quite what. And so I really appreciate the fact that I can send you an idea or concept and you put it together. For anyone who comes into the Osprey Observer offices and sees our 3D decals right in our front, which is where eventually John and I will be doing our My Osprey TV hosted shows, is right in front of that 3D sign in our front office. That was our vision, was to create that right in that front office space that you made that beautiful sign for us. So we'd look at it and it just welcomes us to the office every single day.
Yeah, it's a great sign. It's a great way to show your brand as soon as you get your clients come in and see you. So it's a great reinforcement of your brand.
It is. Well, listen, Bob, we think you're just doing a great job. I'm going to watch for that truck and more opportunities to put a logo on there and do more events in the community. We appreciate what you're doing for our essential workers and our first responders, and we're going to keep using you. We'll definitely put a link to contact your business up there, and I really encourage small businesses to call someone like Bob, a sign company, image360, and go ahead and get some signs adjusted. Throw, single-use menus, make a difference in getting some products designed that can show the public that they can be confident using your business. But thank you for joining us today, Bob.
Hey, thank you very much, Maria. I really appreciate it.
Yes, we'll see you soon.
Yes. All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks again to Bob and image360, a veteran-owned business. Thank you for your service, sir, and for joining us here on Osprey Observer TV. Now, we have an office manager and owner of a note-on-the-go mobile notary, and by night, she's sparking joy with the Wine with Friends Florida Facebook group. It's all about spreading joy on this episode. And we have someone who actually received one of these special packages. Exactly what does that entail? Well, Marie's got the interview, as always.
Our next interview today is just something so fun. I had to invite two of my favorite people to come on and do this interview because there's something going on in the community during quarantine, during the global pandemic, that is bringing joy door to door, and just something so fun and so innocent and so easy to participate in that absolutely anybody can do it. So I have two people with us today, Amy Scolaro, who's actually the founder and creator of Wine with Friends Florida, which is a secret private Facebook group that has exploded with over 7,000 members who are just surprising friends and strangers with wine gift baskets at their doorstep. And then we also have one of my favorite people in the whole wide world, Michelle Colasanti, who retired from the Osprey Observer after 18 years, and in her retirement has actually gotten involved and become one of the fairies who is dropping off these baskets at people's homes. So we wanted to find out more about it, tell you all about it, and then continue to spread the joy throughout the world. So Amy, thank you so much for joining us today. Tell us about how you started your group, where you got the idea, and how it exploded and you became a social influencer. Look at you.
I know. I'm not really sure. So a friend of mine invited me to a wine group that was actually based in Arizona. And she was trying to get it to go national, and it just kind of fizzled out. She didn't get a lot of traction because it was only in Arizona. And I said to my friend, I said, what if we do this in Florida? I mean, we could probably get like a couple hundred people. And she's like, yeah, maybe, I don't know. And I said, well, let's give it a shot. Like, if we get 3 people, it'll be great. So I started it and on May 3rd. Okay. And before I knew it, we hit 1,000, then we hit 2,000, we hit 3,000. And I said, what the heck? Because this is private. Like, you can't search. And I just kind of combined my love of unicorns and wine, and we became magical winecorns and delivering baskets, in a time where everybody's kind of struggling and feeling away from everybody. This brings everybody closer together in a very, harmless way, and it brightens people's days.
It's almost like Fight Club. It's like you're not supposed to talk about Fight Club, yet everybody knows about Fight Club. I mean, it's amazing how that works,
we should
right?
Get soap.
There you go. Yeah.
So, Amy, to somebody who hasn't heard of this, what is just the quick description, the essence of somebody who hasn't been familiar with it, of what exactly it is?
So basically we put together gift baskets. It is called Wine with Friends Florida because it's a whole group of women, and most women like wine, need a little glass after a long day of work or kids or homeschooling. So we just put together a little basket. We do have a questionnaire in the group that you fill out, about 10 or 12 questions, figure out what you like, what you don't like, allergies, whatever. We put a basket together and get your address and leave it on your doorstep. It's like adult ding dong dash.
So is there any requirements? Do you have to give a certain amount of baskets?
No.
No.
You do whatever you want to do.
And there's no
Within
cost involved?
No cost. It's free. Just takes time and whatever effort you want to put into it.
And then, Michelle, you became a recipient of a surprise at your door. Tell me about that and how it felt to receive. And then you actually made a date out of it and went out with a friend and delivered several baskets, didn't you? Tell us about that.
Right. So I became involved. There's obviously another group, and I'm not an administrator, but I got an invite. I became involved probably somewhere at the beginning to mid-May, and spent a couple weeks just kind of watching the group and saying, I'm going to do this. I actually went out and bought some wine, and I was getting ready to do it when all of a sudden I walked outside actually to go get the mail, and on my doorstep there was a basket. So I have to tell you that it's probably one of the most exciting things that will happen, especially now that we're all in quarantine and we're not getting to do anything fun. So I was so excited about that. And of course, I went on to the Facebook page and thanked I don't know who it is, still don't know who it is, and that doesn't matter. I thanked whoever it might have been. And actually, we are different. We call it dusted. It's the same thing. Fairies versus unicorns, it's all good. So I got dusted, let everybody know, but because the groups are getting so big, sometimes it's hard for people to know, and I kind of got dusted a few times, and each time it was just as wonderful as the first time. Sometimes people will come and ring your doorbell and run, which is kind of fun. Other times they'll just leave it there and you'll find it at your door, and it's a wonderful feeling. I mean, all we hear are bad things about porch pirates. Well, these are porch fairies, porch unicorns, and it's there's more good out there than bad. And I think that these groups prove it. And you can have a lot of fun with it. And earlier this week, I went out with a friend, my Osprey Observer friend, Terry Vasilati. Hi, Terry, wherever you are right now. We went out together because I think that it's better safety in numbers, especially if you're going to houses that you really don't know the recipients. So we had a great time. We had a great afternoon. We had 7 baskets between the two of us. And I made a list of addresses from what I can see, people that had not already had baskets delivered to them from what I could tell. And we just had a great time running to doors, ringing doorbells, running away. Or if we could tell that it was a ring doorbell, wave,
Oh, yeah. That's the best. That's the best.
I don't feel that I'll get any more because I think they finally realize I've got, that it's happened to me, but I plan to go out again because it's just as much fun to get.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. And Amy, obviously starting the group. So I didn't realize it's less than a month old, this organization. That is so amazing. I know you have definitely been a giver. So tell me about the baskets you've made. I know you've got a couple examples to show us. And tell us, if somebody's just starting, how elaborate or how simple can they be?
The great thing about this is, I don't know, I get excited when I know the Amazon guy's coming and I know what's in it. So you can make it as elaborate as you want. You can make it really simple. I get a lot of stuff from like the dollar store and things like that and just kind of put it in there. I do have an example of an adult basket that this is like pretty common. It's just a basket. It does have wine in it. Candles are a big thing, makeup cases, makeup wipes. There's some little treats, an adult coloring book, things like that. And it's really easy to start. You can just get a bucket. And a lot of people use like gift bags. They've reused birthday gift bags. It'll say happy unbirthday. But who's going to say, oh, I don't like this bag? Like, they're not. No one. Right. And we also do kids. We call those mini corns. And there's a questionnaire for them too. I know. And here's a typical kids basket as well. There's a little plushie toy, bubbles, unicorn Band-Aids, you know, all kinds of things. And it's catered for that child because we have a lot of special needs kids. We have a lot of allergy kids, all things like that.
So you've got it. Great.
Yeah,
so you've got the questionnaire to make sure the parents can put down any criteria. And actually there was another great one that went around in the FishHawk area, especially that was for our seniors, our graduating seniors.
Yeah.
And there was a great program where a person would adopt a senior, answer a few questions.
That's awesome.
And those seniors, I think over 263 high school graduating seniors received. A lot of these ones, they met their giver. And so it was really sweet because they would post pictures, but it was such a nice gesture for the kids who were missing out on so many traditions this year. So it really became something special. So this is wonderful. And where do you see this going, Amy? Where would you like this to end up?
Basically, I mean, it would be awesome if every community had one. That's the goal, is every community has one. And, you know, it doesn't even have to be wine. I gifted somebody a water bottle, water enhancers. That's what they drank. Okay, cool. That's fine. So it could really go anywhere. I'm actually talking to someone in Canada that wants to partner and start a Canadian branch. And I'm like, okay, sure.
Gonna go international. There you go. It's crossing borders.
So, I mean, that's the goal, is that there doesn't have to be one gigantic one. There can be several. It's all the same goal. Just spread some random act of kindness on someone. It's a win-win scenario.
Now, Amy, have you had any brands reaching out to you yet, or any businesses reaching out yet? I mean, again, 7,000 people within a community is an incredibly large number that I think any local business would want to tap into. Have you gotten stuff to donate, to give out to others?
I am starting to things are starting to roll in. Companies and even like national companies and international companies are starting to, somebody was calling me, sorry, are reaching out. And we have a local company that is actually making merch for us. We are going to have t-shirts and tank tops, hoodies, and a couple other things like some hats. They're going to make it for us. We are going to sell it, but a portion of that is going to go to a local 501c3 charity. So there's no downside to any of this. And Rothy's, I don't know if y'all know about those shoes, reached out to me to be kind of an ambassador. There's been several monthly subscription boxes, and they all want, to be involved somehow.
Sure. You've got eyeballs. Well, awesome. Well, Michelle, so you said you had so much fun doing it. You're definitely going to go out and actually distribute more baskets in the community?
Yes, I plan to. I'm already, I'm putting things aside so that I can start making baskets. And when I have enough, then I will make a plan to go out again and do it. It sounds like this is going to be ongoing, and there's no reason why it shouldn't be.
Well, I think it's wonderful. I think this is just one more way that during the global pandemic, we've come together as a community, as people, to spread some joy, spread some love, show people that we're not alone, we're in this together, and anything we can do to bring a smile to somebody's face, we will. So Amy, we'll put your name on there. People can at least find you personally on social media and then maybe message you to see if they can get an invite to the super secret page, Wine with Friends Florida.
Imagine if it was public.
But in the meantime, thank you for what you're doing. I think it's the trickle-down effects and going international are just going to continue to bring joy everywhere they go. And Michelle, so good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yes.
I will see you soon. Hopefully we can break away from the actual Zoom and have it in person.
Yes. Zoom meetings just aren't quite as personal, which is why those little touches and special things that we've been able to do to keep ourselves, positive and upbeat during this time is just making a big difference. So thank you for what you're both doing, ladies. It's very special. And if you've been lucky enough to receive one of the baskets, then you're in the club. So now it's your turn to reciprocate and pay it forward out in the community. Thank you both for joining us today. Amy, we're going to follow when you're on the news and going global, and we'll keep in touch, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you again to Amy and Michelle for joining us, not only spreading the joy, but spreading the wine as well. That was a fun interview. Man, there's this whole subculture happening, and I had no clue about any of it. I won't show my unicorn tattoo, though, I promise. Marie, there's so much happening right now as things are starting to reopen and starting to get back to, the new normal. Tell us what's happening at the Osprey Observer.
So right now we're covering a lot of things going on in the community. Restaurants opening back up, as we know, at that 50% capacity. And with outdoor seating, they can seat 100% capacity. So if you're feeling comfortable, go show them some love. They were closed or shut down or adjusted for so many weeks. It's nice to go and support our local restaurants for sure. And our summer camps are opening up. That's the big news. It says we're wrapping up the school year. We're opening up those summer camp opportunities for kids. And we've contacted all of our summer camps talking about how they're changing their protocols and keeping our kids and families safe over the summer. And we've got a big link we're going to post in the bottom because we're doing a sweepstakes, and families will have the chance to win 1 week free of any camp of their choice.
For the time being, there's also a lot of news coming out about the theme parks and a lot of the major attraction points here across Florida, and I'm sure you'll be covering those on the Osprey Observer as well, right?
Absolutely. We're on it. We're on top of things. Yeah.
Cool. Well, if you haven't noticed by now, the little scroll here at the bottom has also some of the featured stories over at ospreyobserver.com. So make sure you go and check those out. On behalf of Editor-in-Chief Marie Gilmore of the Osprey Observer, I'm Johnny Torres. Thank you so much for watching Osprey Observer TV. Make sure to leave some comments, share, let us know who you'd like to see on the next episode. Until then, say goodbye, Marie.
We'll see you next time.